Do rats live in septic tanks? If you have a septic system as we do, you know how important septic tanks are for many homes and buildings, especially in rural areas without access to centralized sewer systems. These tanks treat wastewater by breaking down solid waste and letting the liquid soak into the soil. But there's a lot of confusion about septic tanks, particularly when it comes to rats. Some folks think septic tanks are a rat's dream home with constant food and a safe, dark place to nest. But guess what? It's not as common as you might think for rats to live in septic tanks. By understanding the relationship between rats and septic tanks, we can take the right steps to keep our tanks rat-free and working well. In this video, we're going to explore the world of rats and septic tanks. We'll look at where rats like to live, what conditions are like inside septic tanks, and how likely it is for rats to move in. Plus, we'll share tips on how to keep rats out of your septic tank and what to do if they've already set up shop. The habitat of rats. Let's talk rat species. Did you know there are over 60 rat species worldwide? But when it comes to city life, two species stand out: the Norway rat, aka brown rat, and the roof rat, or black rat. These guys love living close to humans, taking advantage of our resources and shelters. Where do rats like to live? Rats are super resourceful and can make a home almost anywhere. They usually look for dark, sheltered spots that protect them from predators and bad weather. Some favorite rat hangouts include burrows near building foundations or under structures like sheds, wall voids, attics, and crawl spaces in buildings, overgrown bushes or yard waste piles, debris piles like wood piles or discarded materials, sewers, and storm drains. So, what makes a place attractive to rats? Factors include food sources. Rats love areas with lots of food like garbage cans, compost piles, or pet food dishes. Water. Rats need water, so places near water sources are more appealing. Shelter and protection. Rats look for cozy, dark spots that keep them safe from predators and the elements. Human activity. Although rats live near us, they prefer areas with less human activity, like abandoned or rarely visited structures. By understanding what rats look for in a home, we can better assess if they might move into spaces like septic tanks and take steps to keep them out. Septic tanks as a potential rat habitat. Let's look at septic tank structure and design. Septic tanks are usually made of concrete, fiberglass, or plastic. They're strong, durable, and handle wastewater well. Buried underground, they're connected to a building's plumbing system to treat wastewater. Septic tanks have some access points, like an inlet pipe for wastewater, an outlet pipe for treated water, and a lid for maintenance. But if these aren't sealed well, they can become rat entryways. What's it like inside a septic tank? Inside, septic tanks are dark, damp, and cool. Rats can handle different temperatures and humidity, but they like stable environments. Septic tanks can be unpredictable in temperature and very humid. As for food and water, septic tanks aren't ideal. The organic matter is being broken down by bacteria, so it's not the tastiest for rats. Plus, the water is mixed with waste, making it undrinkable. Septic tanks versus rat-friendly places. Comparing septic tanks to rat-favorite spots, it's clear they're not the best choice. They offer some shelter, but food and water sources aren't great. Plus, the changing temperature and high humidity aren't comfy. However, rats might still enter a septic tank if there's no better option or if access points aren't sealed. But since it's not their top choice, it's less likely they'll call a septic tank home. Rats and septic tanks. How common is it? Have you heard of rats in septic tanks? Sure, rats have been found in septic tanks before, but it's pretty rare compared to sewers, buildings, or debris piles. When it happens, it makes the news, but don't let that fool you. It's not that common. What makes rats more likely to move in? Slacking on septic tank maintenance. Not taking care of your septic tank can make it more likely for rats to move in. Regular inspections and cleanings are essential to keep everything in good shape. Damaged pipes or lids can invite rats, and bad smells can attract them too. Nearby rat neighbors. If there's already a rat population nearby, they might explore your septic tank for a new hangout, especially if other spots are full or scarce. In this case, you need to address the whole rat infestation, not just the septic tank. So, while rats in septic tanks aren't super common, certain factors can increase the chances. Proper maintenance and handling any nearby rat populations are key to keeping rats out of your septic tank. Enjoying the video so far? Don't forget to hit that like button and show your support. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our awesome community. Now let's go back to our topic, keeping rats out of your septic tank. Show your septic tank some love. Checkups and cleanups. To keep rats away, make sure your septic tank is well maintained. Get it inspected and cleaned by pros every 3 years and pumped out as needed. This helps spot any issues that could let rats in. Seal those access points. During maintenance, double-check that pipes and lids are sealed tight. Fix or replace any damaged pipes and ensure the lid fits securely, sealing any gaps or cracks. Tidy up the surrounding area. No free meals for rats. Rats love food sources, so keep them away by securing garbage cans, storing pet food properly, and cleaning up fallen fruit or food waste. Keep your compost pile well maintained too. Seal entry points in buildings. Check your home and nearby structures for gaps, cracks, or holes that rats could use to get in. Seal these with caulk, steel wool, or hardware cloth. Pay extra attention to areas around pipes, vents, and utility lines. Rat patrol. Set some traps. If you think rats are around, use traps and baits to reduce their numbers. There are snap traps, glue traps, and live catch traps. Bait stations with rodenticides work too, but follow the instructions to avoid accidental poisoning. Call in the pros. For serious infestations or when DIY doesn't work, call a professional extermination service. They've got the skills and tools to handle the problem and give advice on keeping rats away in the future. By staying vigilant and following these steps, you'll greatly reduce the chances of rats moving into your septic tank. Conclusion. We've looked at the chances of rats living in septic tanks and found it's not that common. However, certain factors can up the odds. Septic tanks might not be a rat's dream home, but they can still sneak in if we're not careful. To keep rats out, focus on prevention and maintenance. Regular checkups, sealing access points, and managing the surrounding area by removing food sources and sealing gaps all help. Use traps, baits, or pros when needed to keep rats at bay. In a nutshell, stay alert to the possibility of rats in your septic tank. By following the steps we've covered, you'll keep your septic system safe and working smoothly. Thank you for joining us in exploring Do Rats Live in Septic Tanks? For more blog posts, please visit housenotebook.com.